Hello, good morning, greetings, and welcome to the soup shed, soup cave, soup kitchen, the workshop, the Archaeosoup Towers Workshop. Yeah, I'm still trying to think of a name, but welcome nonetheless to this place. A place that I've been dreaming of and thinking about for the better part of half a decade now. It really all started about 6 years ago in our previous home, in the previous Soup Towers, which was a narrow Victorian terrace, still here in Wallsend, and it had a small yard at the back, a narrow yard, with a tiny little converted coal shed, really, which I called a shed, and stored my workshop and education materials in. And I also tried to use that space to record videos, but it really wasn't very practical. The camera had to be outside the space. It was a very small area to move around in, and even though I did admirably in that space for a video about broken up shards of pottery, it never quite worked. Flash forward a couple of years and we moved into the current Archaeosoup Towers, and that came with a shed. But the shed was old when we got it. It was falling apart, the floor was rotten, and I did my best to fix it up, to shore it up, but it never really worked for the various uses that I had in mind. It could store most of my workshop materials. It did allow me, for example, to make bottle opener trowels when the door was open in the front corner, but it never allowed me to do what I wanted, and that was to be able to make, store and film in here, to do maybe some experimental soup videos. For example, I've always wanted to make papyrus in the Archaeosoup shed or workshop kitchen space, but it's never quite been practical until Monday just gone, when this place was built, and I could not be happier with it. This shed is essentially a 6x8 room with a pitched roof, and as you come in, on the right hand side we have set up some shelves to store boxes which are yet to be fully sorted, in my defence, but store, broadly speaking, my workshop materials and the stuff that I use in schools and some lectures, in fact, in these boxes. At the back of the shed we have the sort of the tool area here, a lovely pegboard set up and a workbench where I can clearly set out my tools. To the right we have storage for bits and bobs and wood and offcuts and things, stuff to make interesting objects and artifacts out of. And here we have the focus of this area, and that is my work surface. A surface that I can keep now uncluttered. I can have it ready at any time to, for example, make a bottle opener trowel when one is ordered on the Etsy store, or to develop new exciting things. I actually have a couple of funky ideas now, able to happen because I have this lovely workshop. Just next to that we have large offcuts of wood stored in a great big box, and also just behind the camera there is something which brings me an awful lot of joy, which I take great pleasure in, and indeed Mrs. Soup appreciates. She thinks it's kind of cute in a sort of a no longer in his 20s man kind of way, and that is a series of small drawers that have different length screws and nails and other things in them. Yeah. But it's just great to have a space that will allow me to do things that I've been wanting to do for years without struggling and fighting the space in order to make that happen. Also, you probably noticed that behind me I have my round Viking shield hanging, and also actually on the ceiling I put the small ones, the ones that are used again in workshops and things, hanging from the ceiling to give it a bit of a sense of storage, and also maybe a small shield haul. A little slice of Beowulf or Valhalla. My own little Valhalla, where I can store these shields but also have them add to a sense of atmosphere as well. I am so happy with this place, and It's come about through a few years now of thinking and planning and saving, of course, to make it happen, and we're finally here. With that in mind, I do have a small inaugural bit of experimental archaeology planned, and that is to finally excavate a little Egyptian artifact that was on the front of the Horrible Histories magazine back in April 2017. This is the Awesome Egyptians excavation set, and I'm proud to have it be the inaugural thing we do in here. So, Horrible Histories, issue 55, 22nd of March to the 25th of April 2017. I've had this magazine for far too long, but I just kept on having other things that I had to do. And as I say, the old shed just wasn't conducive to doing this. So here we are, finally able to do it. And I'm gonna break the seal. I've got my trusty knife here. Just gonna cut the tape. And here we are with our Awesome Egyptians excavation set. So let me just zoom the camera in a little bit there. There we go. Okay. Now we have it's too good to be true. The mummy reassuring us there. We have a chisel and a brush, and also, of course, my knife. So I guess let's see what's in here, shall we? So I've had obviously this is great archaeological technique, just sort of cutting at things. But you know, sometimes you've got to get through that 20th century layer to get to the good stuff below. Or so some archaeologists seem to think. But here we are. We're in, and inside the plastic isn't. It's plastic, sort of wrapped there as well. Blimey, that's not great. Naturally, this was intended to be preserved for the afterlife, wasn't it? Surely. Okay. It's crumbling already. It's like a dense, I don't know, like a dry clay or something. This is going to make a lovely mess of my workspace here. Let's get the chisel and brush out. There we go. Okay. So, how are we going to proceed with this excavation? Methodology, of course, is the crucial question here when excavating something so delicate, so potentially crucial to our understanding of in this case, the ancient Egyptians. I think we're just going to have to chisel at it with the little chisel. I mean, after all, this excavation comes with its own recommended tools, but there's no hammer to chisel. Do we just sort of poke, do you think? Oh, okay, yeah. So it pokes away. But that's not really as much fun, is it, really? Aha! Perfect! A hammer for the chisel. Now you might think this is overkill, but this is the smallest hammer that I have. So let's see how this goes. Okay. Chiseling away. I feel like Michelangelo, not so much as like an archaeologist. I'm discovering the artifact within the marble. Didn't he say that in a piece of marble there's a statue and it's up to the artist to discover it, to find it within? Well, we're doing this today with an ancient Egyptian artifact. Okay, let's proceed. There we go. Very good, very delicate. Yet to find anything. Of course, not all excavations are about finding things. It may well be a valid result if we find nothing in here. You know, we've confirmed that there's an absence of evidence. That is, that's science. So, okay. Oh, I think I'm hitting something there. I don't want to think this Sphinx is quite nice, quite pretty. I don't want to wreck it, but that's science. Okay. Right. Oh, do you see that? That little dark thing that's appeared. That's exciting. Okay. Proceed. Portion. What's going to be in here? I wonder what they would have buried in here, or entombed in a very fragile sarcophagus of sorts. Okay. Well, this is definitely the first crumbly mess I'm making in here. I did make a trowel yesterday, well, 2 trowels actually yesterday, for the Etsy store. But they did not make as much mess as this. Interesting. Look at that. It's not dark at all. Look, that's the light. We have found some sort of treasure. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, on we go. Now, of course, I should say that treasure isn't always what archaeologists get excited about. You know, my most exciting excavation involved a toilet, so because you could find out something about what people were eating, how they were living, whether or not they had illnesses like worms, this kind of thing. So it's not all about treasure. We need to remember that. But with that said, let's get the treasure. Okay, so let's take off the Sphinx's head, shall we? Here we go. The head is gone. Ramesses the Great, or some other pharaoh, isn't it? You get the focus? Focus. There you go. Okay. Look at that though, it's like a proper little nodule. I wonder what this could be. Okay, well, so I'm not using my brush. There we go. Need to brush out all the dust out of the way. There we go. Okay. Right, on we go. Oh! It came loose. It came loose. I really hope I haven't broken anything. That would be a real shame. How would I explain that to the Ministry of Antiquities in Egypt? Oh! Is this a tomb or not? It says here, it's tomb good to be true. Excavation block, crack open oak to discover treasure. Right. Okay, so there's treasure in here. I didn't do my due diligence. I didn't do the desk-based research properly. I should have, read the packaging, and then I'd know what I was looking for. Although there's something sort of shiny and golden in there. Also, as well, sorry that my nails are a bit dirty. I've been handling lots of oily things this morning. Okay. So, well, let's see. It's also there as well. A little bit of shiny in there. Shiny. Okay. And ka-funk. Ka-funk. Oh, more shiny. Shall we? Well, we've got the red and blue, and let's just crack at this, because sometimes you do need to use your fingers, yeah, so you have a feel for what you're doing, not just that you're just hitting and hammering things. Trowels are useful. In fact, actually, where's the trowels are useful, but sometimes fingers can be useful as well. Should I? Let's give my trowel a go here. Let's sort of. That is not good trowel technique, by the way. Just so you know. Stabby, 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 stabby. Oh. Aha! Look. Ah. Oh, should use my brush. Use your tools. That's why they're given to you. There we go. Oh. Did I break? No, I don't think I did break that. I think that's just an edge and a flat bit. Oh, okay. On we go. Well, we've got 2 bits here to dig out. I'll keep on doing this one. Okay. Chisel. Whoa. Chisel and oh, some unstratified ping there, pinging off the wall. Oh. Is that like a little gold bar? Shall we pry it out? Let's see. Oh, it's a little golden sphinx thing. Oh, isn't that cute? Bless. Okay, cool. So we've got the golden sphinx, and we've also got, rather pleasingly, the impression of the sphinx in the plaster. It's quite nice, actually. Well, I don't think there's anything else in there. I'm going to keep that intact, just kind of like that. Okay. Break up that bit of plaster there. No, I think we're okay. I'm going to keep that, put that to one side, just there. Get my chisel, and away we go! Anything inside the sphinx's thigh? I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh, there is! Oh! Something else that's sort of like golden. Oh, that nail really is manky. Just get some of the dirt out there. It's left an impression. Oh, can you see what the impression is? It is a pharaoh, sort of Tutankhamun death mask type thing. Oh, I like it. So there we go. Okay, so here's the thing itself. So I'll keep that as well. Actually, I like these impressions that the plaster is making. And there we go. Okay, so that's a little bit more treasure. There was something behind the thigh, the sphinx's thigh. And then in here we have another little nugget, I think. Oh, which just came out. So a tiny little golden nugget. Interesting. And quite a nice impression, but I'm going to crack it open anyway. No. That's everything, I think. There we go. The experiment was successful. This was a treasure hunt. And I think that's okay though. This of course was a Horrible Histories treasure hunt, and I have been sitting on this for the better part of 2 years. So, 2 and a bit years I guess. So I simply had to do something finally with this little treasure hunt. And you know, I think it's been successful. We have found undeniably some precious things, some wondrous things, as a certain Mr. Carter might say, and a nice little bit of fun. Whether you're a child or an adult, Horrible Histories is always fun. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sticking around over the years and watching as Archaeosoup has evolved. And I think this represents another little step in that evolution. And as I say, I couldn't be more excited to be here. In fact, this space is a silver lining on what has been quite a mixed bag of a summer for Archaeosoup. This summer has seen 3 site visits cancelled due to torrential rain. In fact, just last week, well, the beginning of last week, I was about to go to North Yorkshire to film with some archaeologists and see what they're excavating, and the trenches had just filled up with water. They were like little swimming pools. It was completely unsafe to be there. We've had 2 summer events cancelled this year, 2 fairs where normally Archaeosoup would turn up and we'd meet the public and maybe film a little on-site video or something there. Those have also cancelled because of wind and rain. It's been a really tumultuous summer in terms of the weather, but this little dry haven has come along at just the right time. It's really put a smile on my face. Thank you guys for watching. As ever, until next time, do take care. Bye bye.